It's been a long time since I've posted a video. I know hardly anyone watches them, but I post them just to post them, really. I don't really care, honestly. I mean, yeah, it would make me happy if more people watched my videos and enjoyed my videos, but my life's not all that exciting, so I don't really mind that people don't watch my videos. Like, if I lived in like California or some shit where those really rich and famous YouTubers live, like, yeah, I'd be doing videos like once a week and making money off of it, because California, you know, can be pretty exciting depending on the parts you live in. But I figured I just kind of felt like doing another video. Not sure why, just the mood struck me. And sorry, I'm fixing my hair while I'm doing the video. My hair's like super thin, guys. Like, I have ridiculously thin hair. I apologize for that. I mean, I can't really do anything about it, but, you know, I hate it. And like, ever since I had my son, my hair has gotten thinner. It sucks. Postpartum shedding, and it's been going on for like 3 years now. But I just figured I'd do a video of like, kind of like an update of what's happened over the last 1.5 to 2 years that I've been inactive. So to start off, obviously you guys have seen my son in at least one video that I know of, probably a couple. He's doing great. He's gonna be 3 this summer, which is ridiculous. I'm excited and sad at the same time. Excited as hell to watch him grow up and become an actual person and see the kind of man that he grows up to be, but also sad because it's too fast. But every parent thinks that their kid's growing up too fast. I mean, come on. And then I don't think I've done any videos since this happened, so I'll just add it into the update. If I have said anything about it, I'm sorry, I'm repeating myself, but you guys can deal with it. Basically, another update is I'm currently living in my own place, little tiny 2-bedroom apartment. Basically, and I've been living here for, it's either late summer or early fall this year. It'll be 2 years. So it's been a little while, guys. And I just been so busy trying to figure out my life, that I haven't felt like posting anything. I mean, not that, like I said, not that they get watched really ever, but still, I enjoy posting videos. I mean, it's kind of fun. And sometimes it's fun editing them. Other times it can be annoying as hell, and I know my videos aren't anything special, and I'm okay with that, you know. I'm okay with them not being popular. Yes, I would love if they were more popular. I'd love if people actually enjoy my videos, but it's not something that I necessarily need. It's great, but it's, you know, no big deal if you don't. So yeah, I got my own place. Been living here for a while now. Because me and my baby daddy didn't work out. We were together for, I think, 3 years, something like that. I think it was right around 3 years. He dumped me on the 4th of July, 2017, I think it was. But I definitely remember it was the 4th of July. So, and I'm pretty sure it was 2017. Yeah, because it was almost a year after our kid was born that he dumped me. Our kid wasn't even a year old yet. So, because it was his first 4th of July. So it was a very roller coaster of a time for me. It was exciting because it was my son's first 4th of July. But it was also a very depressing time for me because, you know, my family had just been torn apart for reasons that I won't get into. Let's just say other people were involved. There's way more going into that story, I'm not going to get into it because we don't need to air out dirty laundry. But yeah, there's a lot more to that story than just that. There's so many things that contributed to that story. It's ridiculous, and it still does contribute to that story. Let's just say this other person and my ex are kind of nonstop drama, but that's their thing. Moved on, moved past it, and I'm working towards a better life right now. I've gotten some things figured out. Like I said, I've moved on. It took me a while. Honestly, it did really take me a while to move on past that, because my life had just been uprooted and, you know, taken out from under me just so suddenly. And my life was just crumbling down around me. And I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to deal with it. But eventually I got through it. Honestly, if it hadn't been for my little boy, it may have taken me a lot longer, if at all. You know, for a while it was a very dark time in my life. But yeah, so to get on a little bit lighter note, basically, since I've moved on my own, I've had quite a few different jobs. Sorry, I've got like fuzzies on my face. I've had quite a few different jobs, and mostly like minimum wage jobs, and which leads to another update in my life. So I promise this part has a point. Basically, I got fed up. I know people, you know, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta work the jobs that pay the bills. I was working minimum wage jobs where, honestly, to be completely blunt, I either just hated the job and didn't give a shit, or the bosses, like the supervisors, were absolute crap. So it just was not a good working environment for me, and I just wasn't happy at all. I couldn't find happiness, and you have to create your own happiness. It is, you know, that's a real thing. You have to create your own happiness. You have to, you know, figure out what makes you happy in life and go for it. But I was just so stressed out all the time, always depressed, and it was just hell. I didn't like it. And I was tired of living paycheck to paycheck. And like I said, I know, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta do what pays the bills. But I decided I was fed up with it, and I wanted to do something better with my life. So, my next update is I started college recently. I actually started last month. I'm going to college to be a massage therapist, and it's actually pretty fun. The classes aren't too terribly hard. I mean, obviously they're a little bit challenging. They have to be. I mean, it's college, you know, and I'm studying to get my license and my associate's degree. So, I mean, it has to be a little challenging, but like, for example, you have to take anatomy and physiology, and there's 2 different courses in that. There's A and B, and currently I'm in B. They like did it backwards for the people in my quarter. So, basically, like, next quarter we do A, whatever works, basically. But yeah, so we had a midterm this week, and I mean, we should have had it last week because there's 10 weeks in each quarter, and we're on week 6 going into week 7, but we had the midterm for anatomy and physiology today, and I was a little nervous, not gonna lie, but I mean, the teacher's really good. He's very straightforward about things. He doesn't throw curveballs, and he explains things very clearly, or helps you find easier ways to remember the information. And, you know, he'll teach us like all sorts of stuff, like all sorts of terms, all sorts of bones and muscles in the body, you know, stuff like that. And, but like, you know, the midterm, like, I mean, you only really need like a fraction of the information, but obviously all that other information is helpful. But, so we did the, sorry, fuzzy in my nose. We did the midterm today, and I actually did pretty well. I only missed one question in a 50 question midterm, so I was pretty proud of myself. So, and it was because I misunderstood the question, or actually, I shouldn't say misunderstood. Basically, I let myself misunderstand the information for that question, because we learned like the 12 cranial nerves, and like there's 2 to each, basically 2 to each name, basically. And I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking, because it said something like, how many pairs of cranial nerves are there? And there's actually 12. And for some reason, I didn't think in my head about how each one has a pair. So instead of putting 12, I put 6. I threw myself a curveball, really. But still, so simple mistake. So I knew all of it. In the end, I actually knew all of it. I just basically confused myself a little bit. But I did pretty good. So I'm just glad that I got the score that I did. I passed the midterm, you know. But a lot of it is like learning the different techniques of massage and practicing them. We do a lot of practice. And another form of homework that we have is basically we have to do a movement journal. And basically what it is we have to do 30 hours of physical activity, like documented physical activity. Sorry guys, my nose really itches, but I'll explain why in a little bit, but because it's another update. So yeah, we have to do like documented active hours, and we have 30 each quarter, and we can either go to a gym and have a staff member sign us in and out, basically so someone else is saying, yeah, you went to the gym. And or we can do, which is what I've been doing, is you can use a walking app on your phone, but it has to map the route you take, and it has to tell how many steps, the actual distance in like miles, the duration of the walk, and the date and time or something like that. But anyway, so I've been doing that, which is a 2 birds, 1 stone kind of thing for me, because one reason, I get my active hours in and document it, and it motivates. There's something that I have now that motivates me to do that, because I don't like to get off my butt a whole lot, but this update helps motivate me to do this. And that update is Little Miss Daisy. This is Daisy, and when I do my documented walk, I basically take her with me. So in 2 birds, 1 stone, it gets those hours documented, and it also, sorry, I was distracted. It also gives me that bonding time with her, gets her to know that I'm her owner, you know, because she's just a pup still. She's 8 or 9 months old, plus the walk definitely burns off a lot of energy, because we go walking for about an hour almost every day. There's some days that I don't really feel like it, and I can only document 6 hours a week for the movement journal. I mean, I can not document some of them, but at least, you know, I'm doing the 6 hours a week or whatever. But basically, she helps me to get motivated to do my movement journal, do those walking hours, and it also, like I said, it also gives me that bonding experience with her, gets her to know that I'm the owner, you know, I'm mommy, basically. And, you know, it also wears off some of her energy. She's also fixed, so that kind of took away a lot of energy. But the reason I got her was because for a while now, I've kind of been in the market for kind of going back to that whole, you know, very dark period of my life. Basically, things have been looking up. I'm dating someone new. We've been together almost 6 months. He's a pain in my ass, but he's also a sweetheart. Like, obviously every couple has their fights, every relationship has its problems, its issues, but it depends, you know, it just, what matters is both parties willing to put in the effort to work together to get past that, to come to a compromise, you know, to fix things. And so far, I mean, we've been doing pretty good. Like I said, we have our rough days, but everyone does. But so yeah, that was another slight update. But yeah, that dark time in my life, very stressful, depressing time in my life. Basically, I've always had, for as long as I can remember, I've had depression and anxiety, and like clinical diagnosis of depression and anxiety, and I just took medication, or, you know, right around the time that I found out I was pregnant, I stopped taking medication. Haven't taken it since, which was not the smartest idea on my part, honestly. Like, looking back, I should have done it. But basically, point I'm trying to get to is I've been in the market for a while now for an emotional support dog. And so I actually adopted her. She's a rescue. And then I registered her as my emotional support animal. She's, like I said, 9 months old. We don't really know when her birthday is because she is a rescue, and they found her stranded in Kansas, and it was like, I think it was on the side of a highway is where they found her. But so then they brought her to Nebraska, where I'm from, and I've been looking and found this 9 month old dog, sweet as can be, and she, you know, they took her to Omaha. So I met her, fell in love with this dog. She is seriously, guys, she is seriously the sweetest dog ever. She is super calm. I mean, she gets excited at times. Dogs do that, you know, just like people. We get excited at times. I mean, there's times, I'm a full-grown adult. There's times that I get excited like a little kid for God knows whatever reason. But for the most part, she's like this. Very cuddly, very calm, very lovey. Like, she'll cuddle with me a lot, and she actually makes a freaking fantastic support animal. Honest to God, like, I couldn't have picked a better one. Like, she's, especially for that age, she's super sweet, super gentle, and she kind of knows. Most dogs do have that kind of instinct of when their owner's upset. They go to comfort mode kind of thing, but she's very good about it. She's already got that down, and she's like 9 months old. So I did the math, and I think she was born somewhere in August. So basically, she can celebrate her birthday with me and my son, because we're both born in August. But they originally nicknamed her Honeybee, and when I got her, she hadn't quite learned the name yet. So I'm like, you know, Honeybee, like, yeah, it's a cute name. Not one that I would pick for a dog, or at least for her. And like I said, she hadn't quite caught on to it yet. So I'm like, you know, I might rename her. And I went through quite a few names, but in the end, I ended up calling her Daisy. So that's Daisy. We're still working on the name still on this one too, but she's actually getting there. Like, I mean, if you actually try to get her attention, she'll perk up. She knows you're talking about her, and there's some things we still gotta work on. There's still training we gotta do. She's still a puppy, but when I got her, it was perfect because she was already kennel trained and house trained, which was perfect, especially with me going to school. I mean, I don't go to school like too long in the day. Like, my longest class is 6 hours. Like, I mean, it's a little bit of a drive, but my longest class is like 6.5 hours. So it's not really that bad. And I've got neighbors that are friends of mine that, you know, take her out when I'm gone every so often. So, I mean, it works out, but she's just a lovable puppy. I guess another update that I didn't even think of, I got another tattoo. It's, you know, kind of hard to see, and it's probably backwards in this, but whatever. I guess if you really want to know a backstory, you probably don't, but I'm going to say it anyway. Backstory to this tattoo, my cousin Jared, basically committed suicide, a few years ago. It was, I think, the year before I got pregnant with my son. And I mean, he was a really great guy, and a lot of people dragged his name through the mud, especially after he died, and it pissed me off, pissed our whole family off. But oh, and my nose was itching because I keep getting dog hair everywhere, so it's like fuzzies flying everywhere. But anyway, back to the tattoo. Like I said, it's basically what I did was feathered into the birds, just because I've always liked the look of those, the feather that kind of fades away into actual birds, like silhouettes of birds. And it kind of made sense, you know, like this top one right here, that blue and purple one, the big one, it resembles him, basically. And the blue and purple is the suicide awareness colors. Multiple reasons, had it happen in family, and I've also struggled with those thoughts. Basically, I've struggled with those thoughts multiple times, but I came out, you know, and I survived. And I mean, not saying that I did better than he did. I mean, I'm just saying that I'm so thankful that I did, basically. And if it weren't for my son, someone to care for, someone who depends on me to be here, I probably wouldn't have won that battle. But okay, anyway, back on to a, you know, not so dark subject. But anyway, it says one day at a time, so it just kind of reminds me, just take things slow, take things one day at a time. Don't stress yourself out about the future. Don't worry and stress so much over the past. Sorry, guys. But yeah, just breathe and take things one day at a time, and things will work out the way that they're meant to be. Things suck sometimes, things are great sometimes, you never know. But even the things that suck, take it one day at a time, and eventually you'll get through it. But so yeah, that's about my tattoo. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of anything else I can put into this video. I mean, not really much else I can say. By the time I edit it, it might be like a 15-minute video. I always do long videos, guys. I'm sorry. But, you know, it happens. So hopefully eventually I'll start doing videos like once a week or something, where instead of a 30-minute video, it can be like a 5-10 minute video, so it's not so long and boring. But like I said, no one watches my video. I mean, some people do, but not really. So I'm not too worried about it, but so I guess that's my update, and I'll try, not that anyone really thoroughly cares, but I'm gonna probably try to start posting more often, like I said, hopefully like once a week or something, and just hopefully find more fun things to do. Like I said, between going to school and being a single mom and my dog, I mean that and my boyfriend, but life's not that exciting right now. I mean, it is, but it isn't. I mean, like I said, kind of exciting to me because I'm finally getting my life on track to where I want it to be, but seriously, guys, dog hair everywhere. It always ends up on my nose or my eyes. Ugh. But yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna stop this video now and let you guys get back to your lives. You're never getting that 30 minutes of your life back, sorry. But I'll try to post more often and hopefully make things a little more interesting. Who knows? Might more be when my boyfriend gets drunk and does stupid shit or events or whatever. But alright, well, thanks for listening to me ramble on, and I guess see you next time.